The FDA says no mas to the most popular e-cigarette in the US. What's an angsty teenager supposed to do now? Coming up here in the jog. Hi folks, Alex Klingelhoeffer here with Exencial Wealth Advisors. It is 9:19 here in the middle part of the country on Friday. It is June 24th, 2022. Here's your morning jog around the economic headlines of the world. I want to start off here in the US. Juuls are off the shelves, at least according to the FDA. Of course, e-cigarettes, you have a balance. They're potentially safer for folks switching over from regular cigarettes, adults, let's call them. On the other hand, they do kind of indoctrinate kids, and by kids, I mean teenagers as young as 13, 12, right? They get their hands on these things to go ahead and continue the nasty habit of relying on nicotine, right? Whether that is smoking, whether that is vaping, it's not a great look and it's not a great thing for your health long term. The FDA says those kids outweigh those adults, so therefore these Juuls need to go. On a go-forward basis, of course, they're going to appeal, right? Juul, it is 35% owned by Altria, one of the biggest cigarette companies in the world. On a go-forward basis, let's just stop smoking. It's a really nasty habit. Zendesk going private, $10.2 billion deal. Of course, investment banks now looking to consolidate, take deals private. It's funny, when the market's down 20 and 25%, and specifically tech stocks are down 50, 60%, suddenly private equity becomes a much more attractive option, and no longer having to be beholden to shareholders is really popular among executives. Zendesk, I don't think this is going to be the last that we see of this company. I think it's probably going to come back public a couple of years from now. In fact, I think a lot of tech companies are going to do this, right? Let's sell out to some PE, go ahead and get a couple more rounds of valuation, pump our numbers back up, and dump those shares back on public. Last but not least, before we get you off to a nice weekend, Ryanair, they have a cabin strike going on. It's going to cancel a number of flights in the European continent. Now, here's the thing, right? When you have runaway inflation, like is kind of starting to creep in to this economy, right? 10% CPI this past month, not very good. When you start to have that, you do start to get massive strikes, both in terms of food costs, fuel costs, and pay just not really being what it needs to be to afford goods and services on a go-forward basis. So if you want a real signal of demand destruction, and quite frankly, it turns into just supply destruction, look at these strikes. Look at how many workers' unions you see demanding higher wages to make up for inflation. That critically slows the economy, and that has a large effect. If you want some additional info throughout the weekend, feel free to find me on the internet. I am out there. Until then, hope you, your family have a really good rest of your weekend. I am out.